Invasive species are a massive issue for our planet. They cost us about $423 billion a year in mitigation and damage control, and they also cost nature. I came to Texas A&M to research hybridization, and I started asking myself, how do I want to see myself in 20 years? And I kept coming back to this question of invasion. My research mainly focuses on the Italian wall lizard, which is this globally introduced species. And something that's really interesting about it is we know that it responds rapidly to new environments. We found out that it was introduced globally, and no one was asking questions about what it was doing to the species that already lived in the habitats that it was invading. There's a really interesting study where these lizards were intentionally introduced to an island in Croatia and left. So they introduced 20 lizards, they walked away, came back 30 years later. Their limbs were longer, their heads were taller and wider. And the reason that they were this way is because there were less bugs on the island. So the lizards had to adapt to the food that was available. So they started eating plants, and their diet changed from like 90% bugs to 30% bugs and 70% plant. So we know that they respond really rapidly when they're given novel environments. And that's one of the reasons they're so interesting to study as an invasive species. The Italian wall lizard is native only to the Italian peninsula. It's now been introduced all across Europe. It's in parts of Asia, Africa, and there are now 12 states in the United States with populations of Italian wall lizard. In fact, in the last 2 years, there have been 5 new states with introduced populations of Italian wall lizard. So this species really isn't being taken seriously as an invader, and no one's asking about what happens when it arrives in a new place. So when we go out into the field, we capture these lizards and we ask a couple of basic questions. So what kind of space are they occupying? What's the temperature of whatever it is that they're sitting on? How high up are they? How far are they from the closest shelter? How are they using their space, and what are they doing in their space are some of the things that we really care about capturing every time we see a lizard. A&M has been instrumental. All of my research has actually been funded through different fellowships and grants and scholarships at Texas A&M. So none of this would have been possible without Texas A&M's support. I could not do this research by myself. I have a fantastic team of people that go out into the field with me. Since 2022, I have worked with 58 undergraduate researchers. So this is such a collaborative thing that we do. Our research is really about having a great team, and I think I have the best team.